Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Salmons, and in each episode, we'll uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, I'm joined by Caitlin Winkley, founder of Caitlin Winkley Coaching. Caitlin will be joining us today and sharing more about her founding journey and giving us a glimpse into plans for future growth. Caitlin, very warm welcome to Founders Future. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to dive in, and I would like to share your journey with your story with our audience. So can you maybe take me back to what it was that you was doing before you set up the company? And then from there, give us a little bit of a brief about what you do now and what it looks like to work with you.
You got it. Thanks so much for having me on, Olivia. Excited to share with you all today. So my company really was born out of my own personal transformation. It all started back in 2012. I was working as a nanny for a high-powered family in the music industry, and I was also working as a Montessori teacher. So my background is in early childhood education. Yeah. And so while I was working as a nanny for this family, while I had done a significant amount of inner work, I still had a lot more to go. I was struggling with low self-esteem, a lack of confidence, not able to see my own gifts and worth. And if you think of money as something that is a stand-in for how much something is worth, okay? So I was getting paid via direct deposit by this family, and I started to notice that my pay was off. Hours were missing, days were missing. I was promised a raise, I was promised a bonus, multiple bonuses that I never got. Yeah, so because money is a stand-in for how much something is worth, and I was struggling with my own sense of worth, I did not know how to have a direct conversation about my money. It felt very scary for me. So instead, I did something really passive aggressive. And I had a credit card that had my name on it that the mother gave me, but it was linked to the family's account. So instead of having that direct conversation around money, I essentially used that credit card to pay myself. It was meant to buy household items for the family and things for their children. And I paid for my own household items, my own bills to make up for the money that was missing. And what happened is the family got wind of this. They called the police. Okay. All of a sudden, I'm being faced with 2 felonies and a misdemeanor, and I'm faced with 2 years in jail. Okay. So while I was sitting at the jail that day, I had a life-altering epiphany. And my spiritual beliefs are that the outer world is always mirroring our internal world. I was keeping myself in an internal prison, lack of self-esteem. I'm not good enough. I'm not confident enough. That prison was literally preventing me from being able to have a conversation around money and many other things. So once I understood that the physical jail I was sitting in was mirroring my own inner jail, I committed to doing my own inner work. Like I said, I had already done a significant amount, but even more to really free myself from that inner prison. And then I was going to figure out how to do that healing work. And then I made a vow to help others do the same. I had never heard of the word coach yet, life coach, any of that. I just made that vow. All right. I never ended up having to serve that jail time, but I followed through on that vow. And then the next year, I started my coaching company. So that is the birth of it for my own transformation.
And thank you so much for sharing that. That is a wild transformation. Very to sit there and have that moment with yourself and the clarity to come out of something. That's strong, that's strength. And I really appreciate that and I admire that. So let's dive into the business a little so we can have some more context moving forward. So talk to me, tell me the type of person you love to work with the most. And then from there, how is it you help them and how do we support them?
Sure. My business has really grown and transformed over the years. I started it in 2013, and back then, I started it as a life coaching company. I was supporting individuals one-on-one. I created a coaching program. Individuals went through that. And I built my business on social media. What started to happen is that all of a sudden, I told you a little bit about my background being arrested. And truly, for years, I just felt like I couldn't get it together. I did not feel successful, right? All of a sudden, little by little, I start to come out online and people start to take notice. They start to see I'm getting clients. They start to see my clients are having profound results. They start to see there's a different version of Caitlin here, right? I don't know, maybe a few years or so into my business, I started getting a lot of messages of Caitlin, how did you do it? How did you come out
Mm.
of the woodworks and create this successful company? Okay. So, being the entrepreneur I am, I got an idea and I said, you know what? I want to teach other people how to do exactly what I do. I want to create my own life coaching school. I went online and I started to Google what other life coach certification programs were out there. And I found a gap in the market. And I realized that there were three things that were the key to my success that I wanted to incorporate into my own school. One, doing your own inner work. That is absolutely key. Two, knowing how to facilitate others through a profound transformation, the art of coaching. You have to know that and be skilled at it. Three, you have to know how to actually create a business, right? You have to have tangible skills because you can have the craft of coaching, but then you also have to have the business skills to support that so you can grow it and scale it. So, inner work, knowing the craft, knowing business skills. So, I put all three of those into my own coaching school. I launched it and it sold out instantly the first round. And then it continued to sell out. So, then I started, yes, it's called Next Level Life Coach Training. I've had over
Mm.
100 graduates go through that. So I pivoted my company to doing that in addition to one-on-one work. And then I began to have incredible success with that. And I started to notice that a lot of people that were going through that life coach training and my one-on-one work were leaders, founders. Perhaps
Mm.
they had a corporate role and they either wanted to do coaching on the side or pivot to that completely. I started to realize that my skills were best served supporting people that were already naturally leaders. And from that place, I then started to pivot my work to work with corporations and companies to work B2B versus B2C. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm actually at today. Is today my company supports organizations, me and my team, and we provide workshops, we provide trainings, I do keynote speaking, I do executive coaching with C-suite. But there's something else, there's a pivot here that's happening right now, or I could say in conjunction to working with companies. I actually have just invented a new app. It's an AI app and it is in development right now and it's going to be hitting the market here shortly. We can get into, yeah, a little bit more of what that looks like too.
Yeah, we can dive into that a little bit more. So we took the pivot from, as you said, more B2C to B2B, and we went with leaders and corporations. Talk me through that side of it a little bit. Is it still like a one-to-one coaching, or is it more of a team coaching where you get involved with the business, start with a leader, and then make sure the whole team is on board?
It's both. So it's
Okay.
really wherever the needs are within the company. So they can bring me in to do one-on-one support, like I said, with their C-suite, with specific leaders there. Or there might be specific teams that are needing support in a specific area. We have different workshop and training topics. So it's a la carte. You can take a look at our website, see all of our topics, and see where that need may be and plug us in. And we also do the coach training, the certification, we do that for teams within corporations now as well. So that's really cool because we
Yeah.
are coaching leaders on these soft skills that they can implement honestly, professionally, but personally too. It's all connected.
Oh, it's so connected. Business is always connected with person, and there's such a disconnect in people's minds that it's not connected. But if you look at like any sports person, how they align their body with their work should be replicated in other aspects of life as well. So I'm really on board with that page fully. And then talk to me a little bit. Is this done in person? Do you mainly work online? Walk me through that side again.
Beautiful question. It's both. Companies will fly us in, or we do it over here on Zoom as well. It really depends what their need is. For one-on-one
Mm,
coaching, it's largely done on Zoom. For the workshops and trainings and keynote speaking, I really prefer to do all of that in person. I
yeah.
find it more effective.
Yeah, I can gather that. I can understand. And there is like a typical sector of business you like to aim for, or that you tend to attract more than others?
Sure. Businesses that are going to be more open to thinking outside of the box, creativity, more open to exploring mindset, personal growth. So companies that are willing to be a little bit more edgy, more innovative, open to ideas that maybe aren't typical in the culture, willing to disrupt a little bit.
Awesome. And then in terms about acquiring your customers at the moment, how are you going about doing that? Do you still use the big channel that you've built online? Is that still aiding part of the company and part of the pivot?
Yeah, certainly online, word of mouth, referral. Yeah, I guess those are truly the main channels.
Cool. So a little bit mix of everything, which is always good for consistency coming through when you have everything. And then online, do you run any form of ads or is it purely organic growth?
Honestly, it's been mainly organic growth. And me, let me add another one.
Go
And
for
me
it.
going to companies as well too. I pitch myself a lot. So in addition to doing the traditional, putting myself out there online, okay, getting people to come to me via word of mouth, I'm also going to them.
Mm, yeah,
Oh yeah,
putting yourself out there. That's so important. And not a lot of people do that. Either
I
they
do
find
it
it,
all the time.
people find the no embarrassing, I think. So they just don't even try, which is
I
self-sabotage at its finest.
I live in embarrassment.
I
Okay.
love that. Okay, and then we mentioned before that we had a team as well. So do you run any form of sales calls? What does the onboarding process look like with you? So once you've acquired a customer and you get there, does it run through a team? Do you run it through a funnel or do you deliver the sales call yourself? Do people get to talk to you?
Yeah, I have team members that are trained to run sales calls, but I do most of the sales calls myself because it's such higher level, meaning higher ticket. We're not being flooded with tons and tons of sales calls that we're having to sift through to see if they're qualified leads, if they're good fits. By the time somebody really books a sales call with us, they've probably heard about us, they've researched us, maybe they've been referred to us, maybe they've been watching us online. So the conversion at that point is going to be pretty high.
Yeah.
And yeah, they'll find us online. They'll go to our website. They'll fill out our step-by-step form. And then that form leads them to set up the call with us. Then we have the call and we go over best fit.
Okay, amazing. Really just getting to know each other on both sides, making sure the fit is on both points. And as you say, you've had several contact points beforehand, so really making sure that the resonation is built there on the front end of it as well. Very nice. So how come, so even though you have a team in place, you still like to do the calls yourself? Is that just out of enjoyment or is it more just structured that way?
Yeah, I would say both. I really enjoy doing that, especially if it's going to be me doing the key facilitation. So obviously, if it's a training that I'm going to lead, if it's a keynote that I'm going to lead, my team members, they do lead their own as well, but they also provide a supporting role for me too out on the field.
Okay, nice. Cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there is that backbone as well to help you drive and keep going, like more of a to and fro.
yes.
Nice, awesome. Okay, amazing. And I do want to touch on this app and the plans for the future. So walk me through that a little bit. So we've got the app coming on board. Are there any other programs, any other coaching that you're looking to intertwine with it, or what will that look like?
That's a really good question, and that is something that I am letting unfold. I have ideas of how
Okay.
I think that's going to go, but I really want to get it out there, want to get it into the market. So actually, the first stage is we have a round of testing we're doing. So we have a bunch of people that have agreed to be testers. We're going to test it all out on them, gather the data, make some tweets, and put it on the market. And then I'll know even more from the testing and the market of how it's really best serving people and how I want to perhaps use it as a supportive tool within the coaching, the training itself. But for now, let me tell you a little bit about what it does. So,
Yeah.
the name of the app is called Access Field, and it's Access spelled AXIS Field. Access being the center point, the center line. So you being the center of yourself, okay? And then field is the infinite potential of all possibilities that are always existing at any given time. So when you are the center in your being, you,
Hmm.
you actually open up your access to the field of all potential. And so the app, it's an AI application,
Okay.
and traditional AI is you type in a prompt and then it goes to a data set to determine the next probabilistic response based on trillions and trillions of patterns and bits of information. My app is you type in a prompt, and in lieu of instantly going to a data set to match the next probabilistic answer based on pattern recognition, it's actually reading the energy underneath your prompt. Okay. And then it's generating a response that is a mirror to your own coherence and your own clarity that is underneath the words that you're typing. So the response is a direct mirror to your own coherence and clarity versus being a mirror of trillions of data that is representative of patterns of the culture in the world. So this app is a consciousness reflection tool that interfaces with the quantum field to reveal back to you your own coherence, wholeness, and clarity.
So it's reading what you're putting in and then reading yourself in that. So like looking in a mirror, like you're staring yourself in a mirror through the answers that you've given to ChatGPT or to AI.
You got
Wow.
it. That's the
Love
best way to put it. Bingo. So it's like you are looking in a mirror, but you want to know the beauty of it? You're looking in a mirror that's clear, not a
that. Mm,
distorted one. Think about that.
yeah.
Because, Olivia, we're looking in mirrors all day long, okay?
Mm,
That's how reality works. Everything that you look at is through your own eyes of perception. So it is a mirror of your own reality and your own perception. But the difference is the mirrors that we look at. So let's say we are engaging with a person. That person is literally mirroring back to us our own perceptions, beliefs, but the way that's going to get received can often be through a distortion because that person might not be a crystal clear mirror because they have their own perceptions and beliefs. So it's like looking in a mirror that is a crystal clear, coherent reflection of you with zero distortions.
yeah. So a mirror through someone else's eyes, but is from your inside out is
Olivia,
the
yeah.
difference.
Wow, you
Love that.
are good. Yes.
You're
Yeah.
explaining it very well. Don't give me the credit. You're explaining it very well. So we have the app coming through, and that I understand. So that's going to be pushing out to leaders and to within the C-suites as well, to obviously, and anyone that wants to participate. Obviously, I don't feel they're like a border here, or is it a specific person that you're aiming will get some aid from this?
Honestly, this app is going to be launched worldwide. Every person in every country, unfortunately, except China, there's just some legality challenges with them. Literally, anyone over the in the world who wants clarity. Do you want to see yourself clearly?
I love
Okay.
that.
If you answer yes, it is for you.
I love that. So simple, very simple. And then with regards to the coaching, are we looking to scale that any further at the moment? Is that on the cards for you in the next kind of 12 months?
Honestly, my main focus truly is on this app. I'm looking to scale the app and whatever comes with that. So, of course, like I said, we have trainings, workshops, keynotes. That's always open, but I'm not putting all of my focus on looking to, like I said, scale that endeavor. It's the app, and then that's there as it comes.
Okay, okay, amazing. I got it. And then, so what are you finding is the biggest challenge in getting that out there and to the masses?
The biggest challenge is always yourself, is always myself. It's nothing external, okay?
Okay.
It's any little thought that might come in that's doubtful, that's worrisome, that's not sure, okay? I would say that's always the challenge because I do not believe in external limitations. I really only believe the limitation we have is within ourselves. And that
Mm,
is just shown to us over and over. So literally, if you just do not give up, so if you have something that's quality, okay, you operate from integrity and you're connected to your passion of the reason you built what you did, and you literally continue to show up and you just never give up, just watch what happens. That's it. People just give up too freaking soon, man.
so true.
It's so true. And look, I get it. I'm so empathetic to this because I've had such a long entrepreneurial journey myself. Like I've wanted to get, I could tell you story after story of nobody buyed. No, I did an event, I did a speaking event and nobody came except one person,
Yeah,
my friend at the time. I made a bad business decision, a bad investment, and I lost 28 grand on something once that I thought was going to be a sick return over and over. And when those situations happen, you just grab the lesson and then you keep on trucking. That's it. They're
yeah,
just lessons. It's information. So if we can view life as information,
yeah.
as if we can view feedback as data versus it having to mean something about who you are or define who you are, it's way easier to stay in the game that way.
Take, and obviously take every, it's so much easier for us to sit here and say this than actually put it into practice. I understand. And for the listeners out there, they're like, yeah, okay, but it is. It's like taking every lesson as they come. Just make sure you grow and learn from it and then move on to the next one. As you say, you pivot and you move on. You pivot and you move on. You're never done until it's over. And then it's never over if you just keep going around. There's never a no.
You
Just
got
keep
it.
going
Are you
on.
a coach, Olivia?
I'm not. I should join your team though.
Seriously.
I know I get the privilege to speak to a lot of people, but yeah, I really enjoyed that. The app's doing well and we're pushing out there. Are you going to use any form of marketing or social media especially for this app to put it out there, or just main focus on the channels that we've got going so far?
Yes, I'm actively working on that behind the scenes right now. All my marketing initiatives
Mm,
involving the app. Social media is going to be a big one.
cool.
So I'm working on all my campaigns around that and how I'm going to push it out, the content that I want to share. And I truly think, Olivia, it's going to be one of these things. I'd love for you to try it where when you experience it, it's like a garment. All right, I'm wearing a suede jacket right now. So if I go to buy this online, it can describe it. It's suede, it's cozy, it's cool. But it's not until I get it, I feel it, I put it on my body, and I'm like, ooh, man, I'm looking
Mm,
fly. I'm looking fly today. So it's the same with the app. Like when people
love it.
experience it, it's gonna catch on like wildfire, and I'd love for you to experience it.
I love that, and I will experience it when it comes out. I'm very looking forward to that. And as a final question to you, Kate, before we log out, and then we can plug it a little bit more. So, if you could go back to a younger self, and you could only leave yourself with one piece of advice that you know now, but that you didn't know then, what would you say to yourself?
I would let my younger self know that she had it all along, okay? That she's always been okay. Because all of us, we have our own form of brilliance. We have our own gifts. We have our own unique expression that is meant to be shared with the world. And when we are younger, if we don't receive cultural feedback from that, meaning that our gifts aren't being recognized or acknowledged, we can develop, yeah, beliefs that we suck, we aren't good enough, we can't do it. And so it would just be to tell my younger self, you're okay, you've got it, and stay in the game, and it's all going to get revealed in time.
I love that a lot. And Caitlin, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your incredible journey and insight with us. Where can the listeners reach out to work with you, connect with you, if they would like to do so?
Absolutely. It's just Caitlin Winkley all over. CaitlinWinkley.com, Caitlin Winkley on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, all the things.
Caitlin Winkley all over the world, all over the place. Love
All over,
it.
baby.
All over. Amazing. And again, thank you so much for joining us today. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, please do not forget to subscribe to Founders Future by wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we went from zero to $30 million per year in less than 3 years. But until then, keep climbing and we will see you on the next one.